Think of this plate as your personal blueprint for building a meal that works with your body instead of against it. It's a tool that really empowers you to make smart choices without all the stress.
Okay, so let's get right into how this simple plate can have a huge impact on one of the most important numbers for diabetes management, your A1C. So, just as a quick refresher, your A1C is basically a snapshot of your average blood sugar levels over the past 2 or 3 months. It gives you and your doctor the big picture view of how things are going. And the goal, of course, is to keep that number low and stable. That's our target. And the logic here is actually really simple. The whole point of the healthy plate method is to minimize those big, sharp spikes in your blood sugar after you eat, right? So if you can keep your glucose levels more steady all day long, your overall average comes down. And over time, that means your A1C comes down too. It's a fantastic chain reaction. All right, let's actually build this plate. We're going to start with the biggest and you could argue the most important section. This is really the bedrock of the whole method. First things first, just grab a standard 9-inch dinner plate. Not a giant platter, not a tiny little side plate, just your regular, everyday dinner plate. This is our canvas. Okay, now in your mind, draw a line right down the middle of that plate. This first proportion is the real game changer. You're gonna fill that entire half of your plate, half, with non-starchy vegetables. We like to call these your A1C anchor. Why? Because they're packed with fiber, but have a super low impact on your blood sugar. We're talking about all the colorful stuff. Leafy greens, broccoli, bell peppers, tomatoes, you get the idea. And that anchor is so powerful because all the fiber in those veggies actually slows down the digestion of your entire meal. This means the sugar from the other foods on your plate gets released into your bloodstream way more slowly and steadily. It's like a built-in natural buffer for your blood sugar. Now let's move on to the other half of the plate. We're going to divide that remaining space into 2 equal sections. Let's call these your power quarters. So our next section is going to take up 1/4 of the total plate. This quarter is all about lean protein. Protein helps you feel full, and it's also great for blood sugar stability. Now, here's a little pro tip. Plant-based proteins, like lentils, chickpeas, and beans, are the real MVPs for A1C control. They've got that amazing combo of protein and soluble fiber. Of course, lean animal proteins like fish or skinless chicken are fantastic choices too. And that leaves us with just one final quarter to fill, which completes our plate. This last little section is for carbohydrate-rich foods, but specifically we want whole grains or starchy vegetables. Now, the most important thing here is the portion. That's key. You're aiming for about half a cup cooked. And you want to choose whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, or whole wheat roti because their fiber also helps you get a much slower, gentler rise in blood sugar. One of the absolute best things about this method is how incredibly flexible it is. This is not some rigid, one-size-fits-all diet. It's a framework that you can adapt to pretty much any cuisine in the entire world. And this is so, so important. You do not have to give up your cultural heritage or the foods that you grew up loving. You just apply this half-quarter-quarter framework to those meals. Let me show you what I mean with a couple of examples. Just look at this. On the left, we've got sukuma wiki, which is a delicious Kenyan braised collard green dish. And on the right, a super flavorful Indian vegetable sabzi. Both are absolutely perfect for filling up that half plate of non-starchy veggies. See how it works? It's awesome. And what about that grain quarter? Well, you could have Ethiopian injera, which is made from teff flour, or maybe a whole wheat Indian roti. Both fit perfectly into the framework. It's really about adapting the principle, not changing who you are. Okay, to wrap things up, let's go over a few simple but really powerful hacks that can take the results you get from your healthy plate to the next level. Okay, this is a fantastic tip. It turns out the order you eat the food on your plate actually matters a lot. So try this. Eat your non-starchy veggies first, then eat your protein, and save your grains or starches for the very end. This simple little trick can really help flatten that glucose spike after your meal. It basically gives that fiber-rich anchor a head start to do its job. So what about everything else? Well, for drinks and sides, just keep it simple. Stick to zero-calorie drinks like water or unsweetened tea so you don't accidentally drink a bunch of sugar. And if you're looking for a side, a small piece of fruit or some plain, low-fat yogurt are both excellent choices that fit right in. Look, at the end of the day, this isn't just theory.
It's a practical tool you can start using with your very next meal. It puts you back in the driver's seat. So the only question left is, what delicious, culturally rich, A1C-friendly meal are you going to build on your healthy plate tonight?